Hi guys, I am Mama Bear to Many. I am mom to 15 children. I love to take my children on adventures, but you know, you do what you do and do what you can afford. So today I'm going to be answering a couple questions. One of those is going to take a lot of my time, and that is, how the heck do you afford to do all these fun things with your children? And I hope that from this, you guys might be able to take some tidbits that you can apply to your own life so that you'll be able to do. And everything that I say is not going to apply to every family, and some things will apply to my family, but they might not apply to your family, or they might apply to your family and not to my family. But I'm just going to give you all the information out there that might bless you, that might be able to help you find affordable things to do with your family. The other question is quite simple, actually. The question that I get asked all the time in various forms, some not so nice, some kind of nice, some just curiosity, is, where is my husband? And I say, my husband's working, which is true. My husband is working a lot. My husband, he works and he has 2 days off. So if he is not working right now, a lot of times he's going up to our home way up in northern Maine, and or we're looking at properties. So for him to come and do something fun with us is not always like right there with us. But sometimes my sneaky little husband is there and I have to edit him out because he has asked not to be on camera. There are specific times that he has been on camera. One, I remember right after Azariahs' surgery, I asked if he would get on camera with me real quick, and he said yes. But I want to respect him and who he is as a person. He's a type of person that's like kind of a homebody, so it does not bother him if he does not go out and do things. He likes very like methodical type things. He is fine like going to work, coming home, eating dinner, going to work the next day. He likes kind of like a regiment. It's not to say that he doesn't go places with us, because he does go to places with us occasionally, but it's not like he's being withheld from things that he wants to do. So we discuss things and I'll say, hey, I'm thinking about, he wants me to go do things with the children. So I'll say, hey, I'm thinking about, like, I write a book for my homeschooling year with ideas that I'm thinking about, and he will tell me, and sometimes it's like, okay, here's a general idea of bigger things, and then I just kind of fit some small things in there. But generally, I know the type of things that he likes. He doesn't usually like hiking and camping. He is like, if I want to walk someplace, I want to get to a destination, I want to be there. So hiking and camping is definitely not his forte. Not to say that he doesn't do that with me. He does, but not all the time. And that's why he's okay if I go off camping or hiking without him, because it's kind of like he sees people as like people who run down the road. He's like, why are they running? He needs like a purpose to do something besides just, oh, they want to get exercise and they enjoy doing that. I enjoy hiking. I enjoy camping. I enjoy being out in nature. He likes different things, and that's okay. We can be totally different people and still be one. So he usually doesn't like those types of adventures. He does, and he doesn't like historical buildings. So like he came with us to like the Counting House Museum, but he doesn't like in a building. He feels really like stuffy in a building. But when we went to like Yorktown and Yorktown, Jamestown, Colonial Williamsburg, he enjoyed that because it's like historical, but it's an outside thing. He would be great like going to like the forts or lighthouses. Like those are types of things that he'd like to do. It's like a short walk, you get to your destination, you walk around, you see the thing, and then you get back in the car or have a picnic or whatever. So that's more his type of style. So I know the things that he normally enjoys versus the things that he doesn't enjoy. He did go to that museum mainly because it was on a Sunday, he has Sundays off, so we went to church, and then we went to the museum after we got back from church. And usually after church we find something to do, but it's usually something more simple, like go to a park and have a picnic, or like a nice pretty space to have a picnic. And we usually have a picnic like a lake or a I don't know, a short walkie type thing to go have a picnic. So that's kind of more his style. There, I said it was going to be short, and I just talked for, let's see, 4 minutes and 33 seconds about that. Okay, that's my husband. That's what he enjoys. That's what works for our household. So I am going to break this all down for you guys, because people are looking and they're like, oh my goodness, you just started a whole new channel and it's Large Family Adventures, and how the heck can you afford taking 15 people to all these things? There are so many ways to find things that are affordable. So let me just talk about something, and you have to decide what you're doing with your money. Like, you have to give, Dave Ramsey always said, like, tell your money where to go. I'm not 100% a Dave Ramsey fan, but he says, tell your money where to go. I think you should know where your money's going. So, just a little thing that I just Googled before I got here. It said the average American family spent, and this is a family of 4. They didn't have quotes for families my size. Spends an average of $2,256 a year on vacations. Okay, so just keep that in your mind. $2,256 a year. So that's just the average household, how much they spend on vacations every year. Okay, now the average American family of 4, again, spends an average of $3,500 a year eating out at restaurants. So that's another expense. Now, this is really interesting. So, which I should expound on that a little bit. We spend, if we were to have our eating out budget for the year, I think it would probably be coffee out once a month, maybe $20 a month. 20 times 12, 24, $240. So we spend maybe like $240, maybe like $300 a year on eating out, which isn't even eating out, it's just grabbing coffee. And even before, when we were settled and such, we didn't even spend that much. I just find, like, if I'm in Boston, a lot of times I might get something, or if my husband occasionally will get a soda from the store, and that's maybe like once a month. Like, if he goes up to Maine, he'll probably either get a soda or he'll get a coffee, one or the other, like, because he's driving. It's like 5 hours from here, and he'll usually stop halfway, and that's kind of his treat to himself, to get a coffee or a soda. So we are definitely not up in the 3,500, and we definitely, if we took that 3,500 and times that by however many people, let's see, 3,500 to roughly basically 4 times over 10 grand, we're not spending that kind of money. What if we took that American family vacation and we took the 4 family and we times that times 4? Yeah, we're nowhere near that. We're looking at, $2,800 for just those 2 things. Definitely don't spend that kind of money. Okay, now, other things. We are unschoolers, as you guys know. We do use some curriculum. We do need some resources. I buy a lot of things used. I love thrift books. I'm going to be doing a curriculum haul very soon, or a stuff haul very soon for you guys. If you have not seen my videos, I have a ton of videos on games that I've bought at thrift stores. That's really exciting. Books I've bought at thrift stores, just different supplies that I've bought at thrift stores. So I'm like thrifty mom. Yeah. But 2024 Homeschool Legal Defense Association did a poll with people, and I think it was over 4,000 families in the United States, to see how much they spent on average for each child. So the report says that elementary age children they spent $1,295 per child for their curriculum. Middle school is $1,636 again per child, and high schoolers is $2,000 per child that they're spent on curriculum. Now, that is so low compared to the national average of $16,000 per student in public school system. But that's still way high for in this mama's area. Okay, so if I were to add my 4 high school age kids, if I were to add my 2 elementaries and my 2 middles, that would be $13,862. What? Okay, so we're talking about a lot of money here. If we were the average American family, we're not the average American family. So I'm going to break down what I've spent already, what I can foresee myself spending in the next couple of months, and then where I get that money and how to save. So actually, I'll tell you a little bit of how I got this money here. So as many of you know, my son Azariah has trisomy 18. He was in the NICU at Brigham and Women's for about a month. Yes, about a month. And then he moved over to Boston Children's, and he was there for about 6 months. So while he was at the Brigham and Women's, I met some really sweet nurses, and one of those nurses who helped me get moved over to Boston Children's, we are still dear friends now. I had brunch with her and a couple of my daughters the other day. It was really nice. So we still chat, but she was so sweet. And for that December, she came over to visit Azariah over at Boston Children's, and she gave me a Christmas card. And I was like, oh, that's really sweet. Thank you so much for the card. Well, come to find out, she actually gave us $1,000 with a card saying, I want you to take your kids on adventures with this money. So I prayed over things, and I wanted to make sure that the money was going in good areas. So I will tell you exactly how I spent her money. So we were in Boston for quite some time. So in that fall there, I ended up getting some memberships. For me, memberships make more sense because even if I go one time, sometimes it's cheaper, but if I go 2 times, then it's definitely cheaper. Check out, if you are to cost things out, check out ahead of time. Like, add everybody in your family up. You can even do it on the computer, like you're going to buy it. Get to the checkout card, write that down, and then see how much a membership cost. Maybe the membership's cheaper, and then you can go to that place for a lot longer. Plus, if you get a membership card, a lot of times you get discounts on many other places, any other like ASTC memberships, different things, kind of like if you have AAA, how you can get discounts on different things. Same thing, if you have like one membership card, then you can get discounts on other memberships. So for the New England Aquarium, the membership fee is $229 for a membership, and the membership is 2 adults, and I want to say, I can't look it up, I didn't write that down. I wrote it down for the other ones, but not that one. I want to say 2 adults and 6 kids. Might be 2 adults, 4 kids. I think it's 6. Anyway, so that would be $229 a month. Now we have more than that, right? So what do? We get 2 memberships. Yes, I got 2 memberships, and I did that because we were very close to the aquarium. We could take the ferry from Charlestown, where Ronald McDonald House was, over to the aquarium itself and go there. We went 4 or 5 times, I think. So we have done that, and it's not up yet. So that was $229 per membership, which would make the grand total for that to be $458. Okay, so then the zoo. Now the Stone Zoo and the Franklin Park Zoo are included in the same membership, and they have an excellent price. So for a family plus membership, it's 2 adults and 4 children and 2 guests. So we ended up getting 2 Family Plus memberships, and each membership is only $155. So that equaled $310 for 2 Family Plus memberships to go to the zoo whenever we wanted. Then the last place in Boston was the Boston Science Museum. That was easier to get to and more age range than the Children's Museum. So the Boston Science Museum we got the Premier 8 membership, and that is $235, and that's 8 people at any time. And I didn't think that because I asked when we were to get it, and it was as long as one of the named people were on it, then that was okay. So it could be like me as a named person and then 7 children, or it could be my daughter as a named person and then, well, I guess it's 6 children. Anyway, so as long as one of the named members was there, then the children didn't really matter because they were all our children. If they were like grandchildren or something like that, that would be different, but because they were all our children, they said that that was fine. Okay, so then that is $235. So for those 3 memberships, that was $1,003. So I hope that I did good for you if you're watching this, because that is what we got, and we could spend a whole year doing all the fun things. Other things that we have done in Boston, like Boston Commons, doing the Freedom Trail, all those things are free. Sometimes you have to pay parking, sometimes you don't. And I usually use trips. Say like if I'm going to Boston at this point, if I'm going to Boston, then I might do something else. I don't go to Boston just for that. I go to Boston for Azariahs appointments, and then I add on doing something fun. So that's where we're at with that. And that's pretty much what I've spent so far for this year. Now I'm going to talk about different ways and different things that might be applicable to you, and then what my plan is for the rest of the year. I did have another video that talked about how I took my family on vacation for $1,000, under $1,000 for a week's vacation. And that's a great video because that just goes into the details on how I found free and affordable things. Just search it, say free, affordable things to do in this area. Okay, so how do you afford that? We don't go out to eat, like I just mentioned. We camp a lot of times instead of staying in a hotel. Most of the time we camp, although my next trip coming up, or one of the trips that's coming up sooner rather than later, we are not going to camp because it was cheaper to rent a house. Anyhow, we go on hikes because a lot of times hikes are free. I bought a state park pass, so it's $125 for the year, and you can go any place in the state. We also bought Wells Beach Pass for our vehicle, so we can go to all of the beaches here in Wells. So museum passes, they are great. You can get discounted rates as well. Also, places that have museum passes, I recently found this out. Somebody asked me if I knew about it, and I hadn't known about it. But places that you can get museum passes, like I believe Boston Children's Museum, I believe, I should say that. I didn't say that. Boston Science Museum, they are part of something called Museums for All, and they cannot, they joined this, so they can't charge you more than $5 per person up to 4 people. Boston Science Museum, when I was looking up these fees though, said Boston families get the first 2 Sundays of the month free. So if you live in Boston and you're looking to go to the Science Museum, it says it right on their website. Just go over there and look. So a lot of these places offer this thing that's they offer discounts for ASTC memberships. Some of them offer homeschool discounts. Some of them offer, like if you live in the area, type discounts. Some of them offer things for EBT card holders. Some of them offer things for WIC card holders. Some of them offer things for state insurance holders. Some of them offer things for like AAA, if you have that, military discounts. Just look on their page or search out like what type of discounts, or even call them and be like, do you offer any discounts, or do you have any days that are less expensive than others? We are going to be going someplace soon, and it's really expensive. It's like $25 per person, and youth is like $17 per person. But there's one day a week that they offer for people under 17 to go in free. So you only have to pay for the adults in your household versus the whole shebang of people. So yes, another thing is go to your local library and ask them if they have any library passes. A lot of the libraries have free places around, tons of free places around that you can use your local library pass for. Another thing is if you can't get out to certain places, like the historic New England, if you can't actually get out to these places, I'm grateful, like our library has lots of passes, which is wonderful. But if you can't get out to these places, they have virtual tours of these places that you could sit there and watch it like on your TV to watch a virtual tour of a place. That's pretty cool, especially in the wintertime. That would be really cool. So not that I think that everything should be virtual tours. And most of the time, the coolest things, like nature type things, the coolest things are free. They're free. It's free to go most of the time to nature areas. It's free to walk around your neighborhood and check out different animals. It's free to, you know, go to local parks or whatever. Anyway, so let's see. Yes, and certain museums have certain free days. So one of the local museums that we have not visited yet, which we plan on going this Friday, they have a certain day out of the month, which is the first Friday of the month, that it's free for all. It says it right on the website. So you go on that day and it's free. Historic houses, like I said before, look at your library, look at if you qualify for any of these types of discounts that you have. Let's see. Yep, that other one is free for kids on Wednesdays. Yeah, so all these things are pretty cool. Now, how do I plan bigger trips? I always think camping's cheapest, right? I also know, my husband's not the fondest of camping. Camping is cheapest most of the time. Sometimes, though, it's not. I recently was looking to go someplace on a bigger vacation, and it was cheaper. So let me just break this down. So it would be $200 to rent a cabin, and then I would need to have like 2 cabins or a cabin and a tent site. So let's just say it was $200 a night, period. We didn't have to do anything else. So to do that for 5 nights would be $1,000. So if we're looking at 5 nights for $1,000, what if I go on, a lot of times I use booking.com because it will give you like all the rates just right there. I used them when I went down to Virginia as well. I'm not sponsored by them. I'm just giving you the true, like, hey, this is what I've used. So I've gone on booking.com and just found the cheapest rates there. And you can get reviews and you can see things that other people wrote about them. So we actually booked a large house, like a large house. Like, I think it's like 8 bedrooms or something like that it was like $1,032 for the same time period as I could have gotten the cabin. And I'm like, yeah, I'll take that. And it was closer to the location that we actually wanted to go. Can't give away that yet, but that is something to do. Another thing is if your husband, if you want to go someplace with your husband and he gets certain days off a year, say like 4th of July or Labor Day or something like that, make sure that you are maybe try not to go like Saturday, Sunday. I mean, you can if you want to, but if you can possibly do like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, it's going to be more affordable than if you went like Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So see if you can try to book those, whether camping or renting hotels or anything like that. Because it's just more expensive if you just are booking the weekend. So if he's planned to have a day off, then just see if you can just increase one more day. Ask, you know, if he has days off like worked up or whatever, then just see if he can have like one more day off, and then you could make it a longer vacation rather than just having one day off. So yeah, lots of cool things. But if I just like look at this, and I'm looking at, if I spent $13,862 just on curriculum, like the average American, and so what I budget in a year usually is like $1,500 for like a larger vacation, and then if I have extra like to do smaller things, then I do that. I probably should book like 2,000 just so I am able to do like a large and then a smaller, just because that's what works best for us. And we're using these opportunities not just to go sit on the beach, but to like use them as educational experiences. So I really think that it's almost like part of our homeschool because we're doing this. So I usually take that out of our taxes every year. That's just kind of what we were doing. I also, when I started this YouTube channel, I wanted to start this YouTube channel so I had extra so that I could do things with my children. That was like my goal. Was we're out of place. My husband's income paid the bills, and then I was like, you know, it'd be nice if I could like help out with the groceries, and then I could like maybe go and do a couple extra things with the kids. Up there it was a little bit, I don't want to say a little bit harder, but we had been there for so long. A lot of the free things, I don't want to say we've been there and done that, because we haven't been there and done that, especially like kids grow. So I could probably go back there again and do them all again, and half the kids wouldn't even remember half the stuff. But anyway, pretend that you are a tourist right where you live. Like right now I have tourists like going up and down the street. They're loving living here, right? Like I can be doing the same. I can find those cool things and find the free things and do the same. It doesn't have to be fancy. It can be like going to a new park, a new playground. It can be going down like just this little jaunt down the road. You know, it doesn't have to be super fancy. It can just be little tidbits here and there. And then plan for the bigger things. I don't know how you're going to plan for the bigger things. Maybe you need to cut back on one thing in order to pay for another thing. Years ago, like we cut back, we didn't have TV for like, it's so funny. I'll tell you this little story. We have not had TV pretty much like all of our marriage. We've always had a television set and DVDs. And then as time progressed, we have Amazon Prime and we have YouTube. And then we're just cautious about the things that we put on those two forms of media. So my husband calls me the other day. He's like, hey, hon, can you go on to the TV and see if this channel's working? And I'm like, now we've lived here how many months? I'm like, I don't know how to go on the TV. Can you talk me through this? His coworker was laughing. He's like, we just don't watch TV. He works for a TV company. Well, TV, internet, whatever type company. So it was kind of funny because we have free TV, because of he works for them. But very rarely. I used to actually, we had a box that I could record on, and I used to use that a lot, but since we've moved in, we haven't set up that system yet in our house, and I'm just like, oh, it's no big deal. I'm not like finicking for it, you know, or whatever. Like I'm not trying to whatever right now. Probably for the winter I will, because it's nice, like if something comes on like PBS or something, I could record that and then they could watch that later. But right now I'm just like, whatever. So anyway, but cut out things that your family can cut out for us, eating out freed up, not eating out freed up so much money in the beginning. Just so much. I didn't even realize people spent so much money on curriculum. So if you want to know how much I spend on curriculum, I would really have to do the math, but I'd say probably about $1,200. I probably spend $1,200 for everyone for the year because I buy everything used. It's pretty much for materials like the sciencey type kits, books off thrift books. Yeah, so probably about $1,200 a month for everyone. Well, that's not true. Everyone except for my oldest son, because I pay for his college course. So that's a little bit different. But people who are actually, I don't like, yeah. Anyway. But other people underneath 18, like $1,200. He'll be done with it pretty soon. I think. I don't know how much I have left to pay on it. Okay, now my brain's just going crazy. Like, how much do I have left on paying it? I wonder if I could just pay it off. That's what I'm thinking in my head. Like, oh, then I wouldn't have that payment every month. Anyway, so little Dave Ramsey thing. I used to be a die-hard Dave Ramsey fan. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to save this for another video because this could get really long. So join me in the next one. Have a blessed night.